You know what it is! It's Taco Tuesday!
Look, this is not a clickbait title, but a genuine conversation starter around are NFTs dead? In today's video, I want to cover the current state of the NFT market, what I think the future outlook for the NFT space as a whole looks like, my issues with how NFTs are used and traded currently, and then what I think needs to be done in order for us to grow and continue to innovate this space. As always, if you guys enjoy the NFT and crypto coverage on the channel, make sure you guys hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. Bias completely aside, the NFT bull market from around December towards the end of January, even into February, was beyond euphoric. Everyone and their mother was able to capture massive profits, whether they realized them or not, on just about any NFT project out there. And you guys can see that for sure with Google Trends right here when we're just looking at the NFT search term on Google. Big spike up here in December, peaks out towards the end of January, and then just falls drastically, beginning to just constantly plateau and decline to where we are now in August. Heading over to Dune Analytics, we can look at OpenSea, the biggest platform for NFTs, looking at their monthly volume in Ethereum, and you'll see that same exact story, towards the end of 2021, getting closer to January, huge, massive spike up here in volume during this, 5 to 6 month range, and then right around May and June, it begins to fall off substantially to where we are now in August. Now, this fall off isn't just specific to NFTs, right? There are tons of influences and catalysts that have kind of spurred this greater bear market for macro and global markets. There are a ton of influences, right? There are, the fact of inflation and the worry of hyperinflation, which has been combated by the Fed as they've raised interest rates, which are obviously going to make people less risk averse. They're not going to be investing as much in risk on assets like crypto and even more so into NFTs. We still have supply chain issues from COVID in 2020. Those supply chain issues are affecting costs of living on a global scale for everyone out there. And so people are just in general, they're less inclined to bet hundreds or thousands of dollars on JPEGs currently. We've been in this bear market for months, right? And so we're seeing ETH rip up now, which obviously is going to have an impact on the prices of NFTs. We're also in August, which is the peak of summer. People all around the globe are on vacation, so there's not a ton of people trading. But either way, we are seeing the blue chips get absolutely destroyed right now. And so we'll look into that on OpenSea. Look at the volume number though. Number one product in the past 24 hours, Bored Apes having about 368 ETH volume traded. During the peak of the bull market, the top 5, even the top 10 projects would have multiple thousands of ETH volume traded. This just speaks to the fact of there's not a lot of liquidity in the NFT market, and there is not a lot of demand at all, which we totally understand why, right? Bored Apes down to 76 ETH from an all-time high of like what 120 ETH floor price. Mutants peaked out at 40 ETH floor price down to 13.6. CloneX down to 7. Azuki peaked out, I think 28, 30 ETH floor price, now down to 6. Even Doodles, which got up as high as like 23, 24 around the duplicator news, is up to 7, and then Moonbirds is at 12.6 from its high of like 35, 40 ETH as well. Keep in mind too, the price of ETH when all of these were at their all-time highs was at least 2,500, closer to $3,000. So from a dollar standpoint, they are falling dramatically, right? You can look at products like CloneX, Azuki, Doodles, and say, okay, is this a perfect entry for me? Because if I'm being honest, seeing CloneX at 7 and Doodles at 7 ETH, do I think that they'll go to 14 or back up to 20 ETH someday? I think it is very, very possible that they 2 to 3x from where they are on an ETH value standpoint, right? We don't know what the price of ETH is going to be in the future, but just from an ETH value, I think looking at them and saying, will they 2 to 3x? It's very, very likely. But could they also fall a lot further? Definitely. If they don't have some kind of catalyst or big development or announcement on the roadmap coming up, they most certainly could. The NFT space has just been a game of hot potato. One of the top projects, top 10 in the last week or so, was this rare Pepe Yacht Club. It got as high up as 1 ETH. It's at 0.53 right now. I'm pretty sure this was a free mint. Basically, the products that are coming out now, they're free mints. and the right influencers hop on board, pump them up, and they basically last a few days, sometimes not even 24 hours after they're mint before they crash right back down. And so we've already seen this project, go up as high as 1 ETH. It's already half the price currently. But regardless, in terms of volume, they're doing very well. This is basically just what people are latching onto as a guaranteed trade if they're able to get in early, and it picks up steam. This is a Bored Ape derivative, which is crazy that we're still doing this like more than a year later, doing these derivative projects, and they're popping off, right? So there's, no inherent utility. This project will be dead, by the end of the week, I'm sure, maybe shortly after. But this is just an example of, the hot potato effect with the degen mints and free mint meta. None of the quality projects that are trying to launch right now are launching. They're basically on the sidelines just waiting for improved market conditions, because even if a project is being innovative or trying to actually be builders in the space, they're getting flipped to where, the floor eventually breaks, right? Even if they're coming out with something really, really cool or really fun, you are gonna get absolutely dumped, basically. It doesn't matter. People just don't care about that. Imagine a project like Wonder Pals, which was like really, really hype, strong community during the bull market. Like, I don't see anyone rocking Wonder Pals PFPs right now. We can look at their floor price. I'm sure they're absolutely dead. One that I hyped up and talked about a lot on the channel was Project PXN, right? Floor price got as high as 4 to 5 ETH pre-reveal. The mint for it, if you were whitelisted, was 0.25. The Dutch auction, I think, started at like 1 or 2 ETH, something along those lines. So either way, pre-reveal, you could have gotten 4 to 5 ETH for this project, which is not a shortage of money, 15, 20K. And currently that floor price is at 0.15. Now, like I said, I minted for 0.25. I got out around 2 to 3 ETH. So it was a big gain for me. But at the end of the day, people held onto this bag because the utility that was promised. These NFT projects are basically NFT startups. And so the idea is that once they get this funding, there's supposed to be some kind of return or some kind of development. Some of this takes time, but it doesn't take any time for teams to update their investors or their community about where the product is at and where it's headed. And I think a lot of people actively in the space, whether they've just joined in the past few months or they've been here for a year or so, they've gotten burnt at least once, twice, maybe many times on these hype mints, these promising projects, to where nobody wants to hold anything at this point. I think the market is craving for quality projects, and those quality projects are still on the sidelines. Probably the biggest issue of all is about onboarding new people into NFTs. There's so many people out there who don't understand NFTs. They don't want to learn about them. They may not get it. And there's also negative connotation around NFTs. When we're looking at OpenSea's monthly active traders, you can definitely see the drop off here to where we are now in August, where it says there's about 250K users. Keep in mind that that is probably overstated, because a lot of registered users like myself use 2 to 3 different wallets on OpenSea. The reason new people aren't being onboarded is because the entry to get into NFTs at a successful level is very high. Let's say you want to buy into a quality project. More likely than not, even now in the bear market where prices have tanked, it's going to be several thousands of dollars, or at least several hundreds of dollars, to just buy a singular NFT with the hopes that the price goes up. People join the NFT space to make money, to make profit. That's why they get introduced into NFTs. And then as they are active participants, they understand, okay, the community is cool. They understand more about the technology and the innovation and how this is going to be a part of society in the future. The infrastructure around security in general is so bad right now. There are so many people and so many ways for you to get hacked or to get scammed out of your NFTs or even your Ethereum. And there's not a lot of resources for people who are being onboarded to kind of take those best practices and to be safe. And that is something that I want to do on this channel. I want to make a lot more beginner friendly videos for people who are just getting into NFTs, how they can get started, what they can do to make sure that they don't get scammed, make sure that they don't buy into bad projects, they don't get rugged, and all of those kind of things. All it takes is one catalyst, right? Do you guys remember the whole Dogecoin situation, right? And it would pumped like crazy up until where Elon went on SNL and then it dumped back down. The meme around Dogecoin and people just buying in who didn't even understand crypto, they didn't even understand the tokenomics of Doge, just bought into this dog coin in hopings of, making millions or hundreds or thousands of dollars. think about, altcoins or shit coins compared to NFTs. You're just buying a coin, right? It has really no community around it. There's not really, a ton of memes, or there's not really this deeper connection. When you actually buy into an NFT, whether it's, a degen mint or actually a quality project, there is a community there of people who are like-minded, very passionate about the project. There's actual art that you can use as your digital identity. There are just so many other things. Hopefully there's going to be some kind of utility or cool updates or roadmap that are associated with the project that is going to give it inherent value, hopefully in the future, or new things, whether it's, developing a metaverse, or there's some kind of merch or whatever else, right? So if people are willing to buy into Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, and you think about how many people were brought into crypto from that kind of event, just imagine something of that scale happening again. It would absolutely explode the NFT space. So we know onboarding people is an issue, and part of that is the perception around NFTs right now. A lot of people still don't get it fully, whether that's on a technology standpoint, whether that's from a value standpoint of just spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a JPEG. Those same people are completely comfortable and understand that, buying a Gucci belt or even spending $100 on a Valorant bundle, that makes sense to them, but the idea of NFTs doesn't. And I think part of that is just the fact that the word or the acronym NFT, non-fungible token, isn't necessarily user friendly. I think we should definitely have a better term for that. The next wave of NFT startups and hopefully the next bull run is gonna be fueled by innovation and real utility. I am a holder of the Evinco Winery DAO. So this is still, pretty small project. It hasn't even fully minted out. If you are a wine drinker or a wine enthusiast, this is a NFT project that probably will give you more utility than any other that you've ever had. You buy the NFT or you mint the NFT, you stake it for 2 weeks, and you immediately get access to 2 free bottles of wine that can be shipped directly to your home, right? It's basically a wine membership where you'll get free wine tastings, you'll get access to the actual winery in the Napa Valley in California. So basically it is a wine membership like you would pay if you were a member of a winery in your hometown, except for there's actually a token that you can sell potentially in the future for more than you even bought it for. I think that there's going to be a lot more membership gated NFTs where there's a reason for you to actually hold this. You're going to get that real world benefit and utility. And I think these are the kind of things that are going to onboard new people, but also make NFTs a lot more fun and interesting and kind of kill that, animal picture casino vibe. So what is my strategy? Well, I'll tell you a few things. One, if you're here for the art, continue to buy cool and dope art that you actually enjoy collecting. Buy art that you like, invest in the communities that you enjoy hanging out in and conversating in. But for the most part, I'm trying to stay as liquid as possible. At the same time though, there's still money to be made right now. There are still quality projects that are being minted and developed every day, right? One that I've talked about a ton on the channel is Potatoes by Memeland. Staking is coming out this week. This is a brand new ecosystem by a popular, Web 2 team that I think can absolutely crush it and really exist long-term in the Web3 space. Regardless of crypto prices now, regardless of floor prices right now, NFTs and digital assets, digital collectibles aren't going anywhere. This is only gonna get more and more introduced and integrated into our daily lives and our lives on the internet. It just makes way too much sense. If you've been in the space and you've gotten even just a little bit of exposure, you'll recognize that right on. And when you study more into the technology and get a better understanding, which I'm still working on myself, I just don't think you can fade NFTs in the long run. That's basically my state of the NFT market wrapped up. This is more of a conversational video and I didn't want to go too long, so there's a ton of angles and different arguments and conversation points I didn't cover. Make sure you guys leave your comments down below and I'd be happy to engage in what everyone's thoughts are and different perspectives. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm out.